Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda Rose, and today I am going to be talking all about my completely virtual teaching experience for summer school. I have been teaching summer school for the last 6 weeks, online, virtual, remote, whatever the word is nowadays. And so in this video, I'm going to be answering questions that will encompass my entire experience. I'm going to be talking about what my schedule was like, what I actually did, what I enjoyed, and also what were some challenges. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and let's get into it, my virtual summer school teaching experience. Okay, so the first question, what was my schedule? So my schedule, or our schedule, was Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We started a lot later. It's the summertime, kids are going to sleep later, and so their first class started at 10. My school did this in blocks, so every subject had a different block. So my block for Zooming was from 1 to 2 p.m. Every social studies class happened at that time, and we were required to Zoom for that full hour. I'll get into that in a second, but that was pretty much my schedule for summer school, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2, with 1 hour of required Zoom daily. Second question, so what were my responsibilities? There were a lot of responsibilities, but the main thing was Zooming every single day, Monday through Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. with all of the students. And the Zoom could have been a whole group teaching. I had the freedom to break students up into groups, maybe do one-on-ones, but we were required to Zoom every day with the students to provide academic support, emotional support, to do mini lessons, recap vocabulary, go over quizzes, whatever the case may be. Whatever we thought was the most useful, that's what we did for Zoom every single day. Also, I was required to mark attendance for the students that did show up, whether they showed up on Zoom or whether they completed an assignment. Either way, just keeping track of attendance. The biggest bulk of my responsibility, though, was emailing. Emailing administration, emailing students, emailing parents, calling parents. There was so much communication happening in these 6 weeks. I think this is the most I have ever emailed or spoken to parents ever. We were required to contact parents weekly, which makes sense, but because we had such a small time frame, 6 weeks compared to an entire school year, you do feel like you're talking to parents a lot more than once a week. But that was the requirement, and I hope that parents thought that it was nice for them to be fully informed about what was happening with their students while they were participating in summer school online. Other responsibilities were obviously to create the lessons, grading assignments, which is an obvious one. So that's pretty much what I did for the past 6 weeks. Next question, what did I enjoy? The best part about this experience was the teaching and the planning for it. You don't really realize how much you miss teaching and how much you miss just explaining things until you have the opportunity to do it again. And I just loved planning for the lessons. I loved thinking about different ways to present content and finding video clips or images, whatever the case may be. I just really loved planning. And I think that is my favorite part all the time when it comes to teaching, is just not only teaching in front of your students, but I really do enjoy the planning process. I get a really great kick out of creating presentations, adding little things here and there, animations. I really do enjoy that whole creative process of planning a PowerPoint and planning a lesson. So that is what I enjoyed the most throughout this process. Now we get into the bulk of it. What were some challenges? Now, as much as I love building relationships with my students and just being able to communicate with them, that would have been under the part of what I enjoyed if that happened. So what was a really big challenge for me was building relationship with the students. Now, yes, 6 weeks, 4 days a week is a short amount of time, but then again, it's also not. And there's just something that remote teaching does as far as the disconnect that happens when you're teaching through a computer screen, when students are responding through a screen. Unfortunately, it's just not the same, especially when it's with students that you don't know. When this happened to us in March, these were all kids that we knew, so we already had a relationship built. But it's totally different when you're starting fresh with students who don't know you and you don't know them. That initial interaction online is awkward, to say the least. And so I had a really difficult time building relationship and just getting student responses and feedback. So there were times when I would ask a question and it would be like really silent, or I would ask them to write in the chat and I would get maybe like just a couple of students writing. And so student engagement was very, very difficult. That was the biggest challenge for me. Another challenge I had was organization. My planner is done because I used that for this past school year, but I didn't really have something for summer school that allowed me to just like map things out. My school obviously asked us to create like a mini like overview of what we were doing, but the day-to-day like reminders of like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I'm someone who needs to see them written down, and having a million post-its everywhere is just not ideal. So definitely I need to purchase a desk calendar. Like that is 100% something I need, especially for the fall. I just need to have something on my desk 24/7 where I can write little notes to myself, put reminders, things that I need for the day, things that I need for the week. And so I did struggle with organization because everything was online. And I'm someone that likes to have things physical. Even if I'm prepping a worksheet, right? There's just something about knowing like, I have the worksheets here, I have this here. So it's just so different online. And it's just me, it's just the way that I like to work, it's the way that I like to learn. It's the way that I like to prepare. I know everybody's different. I'm just speaking for me and my experience. So organization was a struggle, and I definitely need a desk calendar for sure. Another thing that was difficult was, or challenging, was student morale. COVID, man, it's just done something to us. And I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but again, New York, we were hit hard. A lot of our students have had people pass away. Even during the summer when I was calling homes just to check in because some students hadn't logged in for a couple of days, family members have passed. And so it's just really hard to expect students to do so much when they're being hit with so many things at home emotionally, and it's just rough. And so the morale is low, and that is something that I don't really know how to fix through a computer screen. You know, I don't really know how to show that. And that's something that I have to like work on and figure out, but for sure that was a challenge as well. And the last challenge was like Wi-Fi, like technical difficulties. I realized that, so I taught in this room right here with my desk in the background. I just felt like it was the most professional in a sense, or the most professional space I have in my house. And the Wi-Fi in here is a lot worse than if I were in my living room. So I did have a lot of issues when I would try to play videos, or when I would just try to have like little clips, or even my animations would be delayed. And so that is something that I don't know if we're gonna have to like call our company and see if we can upgrade our Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi for sure was an issue when I really wanted to like teach. Over the spring when we first went to remote, I wasn't Zooming every day, and so I didn't really get to consistently see the issues with Zoom. But for sure during summer school, I got to see that there was a lot of lag happening. And maybe that's something you have to consider as well. You may think that your Wi-Fi is great until you have to do it every single day. So that's something that I really had to think about as well. I am going to make another video that's going to talk about like all of the things that I would recommend for Zoom teaching or any type of virtual teaching with your students. With a lot of these challenges, there were a lot of things that I learned. I definitely had to change up my teaching style and the way that I present, the way that I create PowerPoint. It's totally different being in the room versus being online. There's a lot more things that you have to use to like get student engagement and get them excited about the lesson. So for sure I'm going to be making another video that's kind of like a continuation of this, that talks about things that I am going to do in the future that will help fix a lot of these issues or challenges that I face. That's pretty much this video. It was just giving you guys an update on what exactly I was doing during the summer, what did I like, but most of it was challenges. And this is also why I wanted to teach over the summer, because I wanted to just get an idea of what it would be like if I were to go completely virtual. Like, what are the kinks that I would need to work out? So I am gonna do another video, like an add-on or a continuation about this, but that is just pretty much my overall summer school teaching experience. So again, make sure that you subscribe, make sure you like this video, and I will see you all in the next one.